Welcome to the Department of Developmental Services tutorial for the Welfare and Institution Code, Section 4731, Consumer Rights Complaint and Fair Hearing Surveys. In this tutorial, I will go over the step-by-step instructions on how to properly complete these two surveys to ensure that the department gathers all the data required to meet WIC Code 4519.2 C and D. We hope this tutorial will provide you with the necessary information to accurately complete your surveys. Okay, let's get started. In this first section of the tutorial, I will be reviewing the Welfare and Institution Code, Section 4731, Consumer Rights Complaint Survey. This is Enclosure A in the correspondence you received from the department. Each year, the department is required to update the legislature on the number of 4731 complaints filed at each regional center during the prior fiscal year, and the following information must be included: the subject matter of the complaint, how the complaint was resolved, the time frame of the resolution of complaints, as well as the demographic information for the individuals on whose behalf the complaint was filed. To begin filling out your survey, start by confirming the correct regional center name has been pre-populated into your survey. Next, fill in the contact information for the person completing the survey, including the contact person's name, email, and phone number, as well as the date the survey was completed. If 4731 complaints are listed in your survey, that means the department received an appeal and already has some information about a complaint filed with your regional center in fiscal year 2019-2020. If your survey is blank, that means the department did not receive 4731 appeals for your regional center in fiscal year 2019-2020. In this case, please add all 4731 complaints received by your regional center for that fiscal year. We will go over subject matter, how the complaint was resolved, and the root cause of the complaint instructions in a bit. For those with 4731 complaints already pre-populated in the survey, please take the time to verify the information listed. This includes the following: the individual's UCI, initials, date of birth, age, ethnicity, the primary language of the individual for whom the complaint has been filed, the date the complaint was received by the regional center, and the date the proposed resolution was sent to the individual or the person filing the complaint on the individual's behalf. If any pre-populated information is incorrect, please contact the DDS staff listed in your correspondence for assistance. Once all the pre-populated information has been verified, begin filling in the following blank fields for each appealed 4731 complaint: subject matter of the complaint, column J, how the complaint was resolved, column L, and the root cause of the complaint, column N. Starting with subject matter, for each complaint, click on the subject matter cell to view the drop-down list of subject matters. If you're unsure of how to categorize the subject matter, please refer to the Subject Code tab at the bottom of the workbook for a list of definitions. Here you will find detailed WIC statute definitions and other definitions for each of the subject matter options found in the drop-down list. When you select the subject matter, the associated subject code will automatically populate into the subject code column, column K. If a complaint includes multiple issues, list all the related subject matters associated with the complaint. If additional rows are needed to include more than 5 issues in the complaint, you can add a row by clicking on the plus icon located on the far left-hand side of the survey. A total of 15 rows are available. If more than 15 rows are needed for a complaint, please contact the DDS staff listed in your correspondence for technical assistance. Moving on to the next column, you will now list how each issue was resolved. Like the subject matter section, when you click the cell, a drop-down menu will appear. Each issue from the subject matter column must have a resolution. For resolution definitions, click on the Resolution tab at the bottom of the workbook. When a resolution is chosen, a resolution code will automatically populate in the resolution column, column M. To conclude this complaint section, please provide a brief 1 to 2 sentence description for each issue by identifying the root cause of the complaint. For example, if the complaint alleges a violation of the individual's right to prompt medical care, the root cause description may be: the provider did not take the individual to scheduled medical appointments, or the provider did not ensure the individual's medications were given as prescribed by the physician. Another example is a violation of an individual's right to privacy. The root cause description may be, the regional center shared the individual's information with an unauthorized person, or the provider got the information from the individual's phone. If your regional center received a blank survey, or after you've completed entering information for the pre-populated 4731 complaints, begin entering all 4731 complaints received by a regional center in fiscal year 2019-2020. Each newly entered 4731 complaint must include all information found in columns A through N. This completes the tutorial for the Welfare and Institution Code, Section 4731, Consumer Rights Complaint Survey. Now on to the Fair Hearing Survey. In this section of the tutorial, I'll be reviewing the Fair Hearing Request Survey, which is enclosure B in the correspondence you received from the Department. Each year, the Department is required to update the legislature on the number of fair hearing requests filed pursuant to WIC Code 4710.5 and the number of fair hearing requests resolved or decided during the prior fiscal year for each regional center, and the following information must be included: the reason for the fair hearing request by issue type, the number of fair hearing requests resolved by type, the average length of time between filing and the resolution or disposition of the case, the outcome of the resolution, if known, and demographic information about individuals on whose behalf the complaint was filed. To begin filling out your survey, start by confirming the correct regional center name has been pre-populated into your survey. Next, fill in the contact information for the person completing the survey, including the contact person's name, email, and phone number, as well as the date the survey was completed. As a reminder, this survey includes only fair hearing information from fiscal year 2019-2020. Much of the information included in this section is pre-populated for you. Please note columns E, F, K, L, and M are highlighted in yellow and require entry for your regional center. Click on each highlighted cell and select the applicable option from the drop-down list. The cell will turn from yellow to white when the data is entered. Columns K, L, and M are mutually exclusive, and only one of these three columns should be selected and completed. Now for the resolution withdrawal information section. Select an option from the Outcome column, column N, drop-down list to indicate the outcome upon resolution or withdrawal of the fair hearing. If the appropriate outcome is not identified in the drop-down list, please select the option entitled Other, Explain in Other Explanation column, and in column O, provide a brief description of the outcome upon resolution or withdrawal of the fair hearing. In the last column, column P, you will find pre-populated state-level fair hearings data. For fair hearing requests that were not resolved or withdrawn on or before June 30th, 2020, you will see that pending has been pre-populated in that cell because the survey is specific to fiscal year 2019-2020. This concludes the tutorial for the Fair Hearing Survey. Please send completed 4731 and fair hearing surveys to the DDS staff listed in your correspondence by the September 15th due date. If you have any additional questions about the 4731 and fair hearing surveys, please contact the DDS staff listed in your survey letter. Thank you for watching this tutorial and completing the annual 4731 and fair hearing surveys.